We got 16 miles on the cards today, 8 miles at a conversational pace, and then the other 8 miles at race pace. And unfortunately, I have to do it fully on the treadmill this morning because, as you can see, there's some snow out there. So didn't want to take the risk, so we're hitting the treadmill today. But I've been really liking these Adidas Adizero Pros. Really comfortable and have been really enjoying them. The Nike Vomero Pluses have been my go-to, just kind of chill, lower mileage days. So those are these ones right here. Of course, I had to get the pink ones and then the bright green ones because, people need to see me, right? So we got 16 miles on the treadmill today. I'm excited. I feel pretty good. So I'll take you through what I will be having on the run. So on the run, we will be having this bottle filled with 2 scoops of electrolytes, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, and I'll just be sipping on this, a few sips every mile or so. And then we'll also be consuming gels. I'm gonna have 3 today, so like I said, 16-mile run. So I'll have 1 at mile 4, 1 at mile 8, and 1 at mile 12 or 12, 13. I might try and push it a little bit further back, but we'll see how we're feeling. So yeah, 3 gels, the electrolytes, and the most important part for me is gum. I love to just chew on something. Also just keeps my mouth wet, but yeah, so I'll have 1 piece and then I'll probably trade off after an hour or so. And then I'll also be wearing the Coros heart rate armband monitor. I have the chest strap, which I use, but it tends to just slide off my body because I sweat a shit ton. So I use the Coros arm for my longer runs, and then this is better for just shorter runs or biking, pretty much. So yeah.
Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess.
If you're wondering what the setup looks like, we got the treadmill, little TV setup, and the fan. It gets really hot down here, and I don't know if you can see above my head, but there's pipes right here. So literally if I'm here and I'm running, my head is just under the pipes. Luckily my head doesn't actually hit the pipes. Sometimes it'll brush up against the little pads here, but this pipe right here is hot. It's a hot water pipe, so it gets pretty damn hot on this treadmill. But yeah, that's the setup. We got TV, fan, and myself. 1 mile in right now. About a 9:25 pace. Taking it nice and chill for these first 8 miles, because once we hit that second half of 8 miles at race pace, we better have some energy in the tank. So yeah, 1 mile in, 15 more to go, baby.
I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run.
We are 7.5 miles in now, so another half mile, and then 8 miles at race pace, baby. Race pace is gonna be about 7:45 to 8 minute per mile pace, which is about 7.7 speed on the treadmill. As soon as we get to 8 miles, crank it up. I'm gonna take another gel. Feeling good. Cardio has definitely been picking up. I mean, we're deep into this race prep now, so just show the work pays off. Officially 12 miles in. Heart rate's at about, heart rate's at about 160, so definitely pushing, but for race pace, I'm happy with that. Almost there. 16 miles, wrap. 16 miles, 8:35 pace, pretty good. Treadmill's always miscalibrating, but we definitely stayed at race pace for the full 8 miles, so that was good. If you don't believe the watch, 16 miles on the treadmill as well. Felt really good, honestly. Felt like we pushed pretty well. Yeah, I feel like we're making really good improvements, and you know, we just keep getting closer and closer to race day, so I'm really excited. And we got a deload next week, and then the week after we have an 18-mile run. So that's the longest of the 20-mile race prep, and that's also a progressive run as well. We've been training our ass off, and I think the work's definitely showing up. Honestly, my foot though, I definitely have a fat freaking blister on my foot, 100%. These shoes are mad comfy, but I got like a blister the other day, and it's definitely still there. So if you want to see some nasty shit, my toe has the gnarliest blister. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you have a foot problem, skip this part, but look at this. That's gnarly. I also have one on my other foot too, but that's not as bad. But this one is puffed the up. Oh my god, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Look at how like, oh, that's gnarly. I gotta get that fixed. The thing is, you can't like pop it. If you pop it, it makes it worse. So you kind of just have to thug it out. Yeah, but we definitely gotta figure that out, or else that's gonna suck. Proof of sweat, by the way. Booty sweat on top. About to go pick up some bevs because your boy is thirsty and I want some flavor, not just your typical water. So as we wait for the windshield to defrost, I'm bumping some tunes, as you can hear. In that blister, dude, brutal. But yeah, I don't know. We gotta figure that bad boy out. Picked up the goods, got a little Prime. Honestly, it's been my go-to. I've been fucking with the Prime, and then we're going to hit some upper body. So got a little caffeine, a little C4, cherry berry lime, best flavor out there. I swear, it's so freaking good. Headed back home now, as you can see. See you back at the crib. The biggest thing with hybrid training is fueling. If you're not fueling properly, you're doing it wrong and you're leaving an insane amount of gains on the table. So we just finished up the 16-mile run and we're about to go to the gym now. We're hitting an upper body sesh. So what we got cooking, 2 pieces of sourdough, and then we're gonna have some cottage cheese, of course. Probably one of my favorite foods, I'm not even gonna lie. And yeah, eat that, shower, change clothes, and hit the gym. The biggest thing too, and what I've done before, is thinking that, you know, you kind of need to eat like a lot after a run like that. But I'm honestly never really like hungry after a big run. But I know that obviously you have to eat, but you don't want to eat too much, especially when you go to training, because then your body's just going to be digesting that food while you're training and you're going to be a little lethargic, and it's definitely going to affect your training. So it's key to just get some quick digesting carbs, a little bit of protein to help with recovery, and just go to work. And then after you hit that session, come back and have a good meal and just get your cows in for the rest of the day. So I'm going to eat that, and I'll see you guys at the gym.
Na festa do fim de semana, só rolê bom. Ela chega e desencana com passo bem sou, passo bem sou, passo bem sou. Na festa do fim de semana. Côte de tabacossa, on y la mia. VOR côte de fobat, et tem tout ça ya. Parler la drilla pour você, j'en ça c'est l'océ. Différemment de fazer, isso ça doublé. 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 Isso ça doublé, isso ça doublé, isso ça doublé, isso ça doublé, isso ça doublé.
So I just want to come on here and talk a little bit about me, who I am, what I want to do. Since this is my first YouTube video, I just started social media, mainly on TikTok, about today's January 3rd. I think I started mid-July. YouTube has always been something that I've wanted to do ever since I was younger. If I can find a clip, I used to make videos with my friends when I was in like 7th grade. So if I can find those, here they are.
Today we're doing the sour candy challenge. We have warheads and then toxic waste. We each have 6 warheads and then 3 toxic waste because Miles gave... What? Where'd your other one go?
Growing up, I played soccer and basketball, and I've always been that person that, you know, if there's a sport, I feel like I can pick it up pretty quick. I used to play tennis as well, baseball. So yeah, I've always been, you know, athletic per se. Growing up and playing sports with basketball and soccer, you know, obviously you run in those sports, but when you had to do the running in that sport through practice, it always felt like a burden, I want to say. And, you know, I always like hated running, and I never thought that I would just do structured running. But seeing Ironman triathlons and marathons, and even just like, you know, people who run the 100-meter or, you know, the 800-meter races, it's always been something that I've wanted to do. And this year I committed to running a half marathon, which I did in August, and it was amazing. I had some ups, I had my downs, but growing through that process really made me appreciate running a lot more, and it opened my mind to a lot of things, because I feel like when you're running, you know, it sucks, don't get me wrong, it's hard, but the more you do it and the more consistent you are with running, the easier it gets. You know, I remember when I first started running in early June, you know, 2 miles was tough. You know, running 10:30 pace, it was hard. And now, you know, I just ran 16 miles at an 8:35 pace in less than a year of just getting into running. And I think that that really goes to show that if you're consistent and you stick with it, that it pays off. And now I'm in this 20-mile race prep, kind of the bridge. I really want to do a triathlon. One day I am going to be an Ironman, and I think I want to do an Ironman 70.3 in June. So my idea is that, you know, I get in really good run shape because it's a new discipline to me. I think that I'm pretty good at biking. Biking, I would say, is probably my second strongest suit, if not my first. I think that after this race prep, my running endurance and stamina and everything like that is going to be in tip-top shape. And I think that, you know, just dialing back in on the bike, and for me, swimming is the one discipline that I need a lot of work to put in, but that's something that I want to do because I do want to do this. And you know, training has always been something that I've loved doing. It started out with the gym. I mean, initially it started out with sports, obviously, but then I got into weightlifting. But now I've kind of shifted over to the hybrid athlete wave, and I love it so much. And like I said, you know, I've always been watching Ironman YouTube videos, and it's always been something on my mind that I do want to do. So if all goes well, I really do want to commit to training, definitely for the 70.3. I'm not going to go all in on the full race right away. That's something that I need a lot of training for. So yeah, really just dialing in on the swim is the biggest thing that I need to lock in for the triathlon. And, you know, if I feel like I'm not quite ready, then I might take a step back, but I will be doing it. And if I feel like I'm not quite there, I will be doing, you know, a sprint triathlon at least first. But like I've said, I've come to really love running, and I do want to run marathons. And so, you know, if I don't feel like I'm quite ready for the triathlon, then I might take a little time off after this race and just dial into a full marathon prep. I'm 22, name's Josh, and I want to be consistent with this YouTube just like I have been on TikTok, and I definitely want to keep making videos in this realm of, you know, hybrid training, lifestyle vlogs, things like that. Yeah, and I think, you know, the biggest thing for me is just committing to something. Like, in the past, I've, you know, said I want to do this, but I've half-assed it. I haven't gone all in. And for the half marathon and for this race prep, I've just gone all in. And I think that if you really want something and you're really committed to it, you have to go all in. You can't go 70%. You can't go 85%. You have to go all in. And, you know, by going all in, you allow yourself to reap the benefits, but also understand, you know, the ups and the downs. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that everything is cupcakes and rainbows. It's far from that. I've had, you know, injuries, especially with sports. You know, I had a lot of setbacks in sports as I progress. And I think that that's what's really made me commit to dialing in my nutrition, dialing in my, obviously, training, dialing in my recovery, and all the things that go along with it. Because, as I said, going all in doesn't just mean going all in on training. It means going all in every aspect that has to do with trying to get to that goal. And as much as I go all in on training, I also want to go all in with social media as well. And I'm ready for it. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. And there will be more to come. And I hope you guys follow along.